Welcome back. A parenting trend is taking over social media. F around and find out, is that trend? Some say it contradicts a gentle parenting trend we've seen over the past few years. Here's one example.
You going?
I'm going to a different house because you don't want to come in because I want to sleep and you said no.
You're leaving to a different house because I won't let you sleep in our room?
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye. Let me open the door.
I will gladly help you open the door. Bye.
Bye.
That's what I thought. Come on in.
I knew that was coming. Is this the kind of parenting that's effective now? Joining us to talk about it, parents Cookie, Lewis Hunter, and Dale Lynn Settle. So, Lewis, your thoughts?
I think it's good that we're having a discussion about different styles of parenting because that whole emotional, how you feel matters, and I want to get in tune emotionally with you. That's not working. The whole catering to a child. That's what causes a lot of the problems that I think that we're having today with young people. I think that if you force children to suffer the consequences of their actions, and when I heard FAFO, I was not thinking this. My philosophy, my FAFO was completely different than this.
I think you have the same thought process as I had with that.
I was thinking, I used to tell my boys, either you can cut the grass or get your ass whooped and cut the grass. That was, that's the whole, and so this is more of a gentler way of approaching.
Do you think that'll work though, in any of you guys?
No, not this type. I don't think that this type works in this scenario, simply because I don't think the child can fully comprehend and understand the cause and effect. Like, if I do this, this is what's going to happen. I think the F around and find out that I grew up with was more like a hard head make a soft behind.
Right.
That's the kind that I'm used to seeing, and so it's where a child can understand. And I think that there has to be some parameters around it, some age limits, some things like that have to kind of go around with that. Growing up, I remember my dad, 50 years ago, he was in a major car accident, and he was the one driving. He was 19 years old. He lost his sight, he lost his eye, and he also killed his girlfriend in the car with him.
Jeez. But
that was because of disobedience. Her parents told him not to take her out. He did anyway. That is an extreme case. But to this day, my father will take out his prosthetic and put it in his hand and be like, do you want this to be you? So, like, he does that to me, to my siblings, to my children, but he's not gonna do that to my 2-year-old. He's gonna show that to my 15-year-old who thinks she's sassy and she thinks she's wrong, that type of thing. So I think that it just kind of all depends on the scenario, the child, the age. I don't know if that can be effective. That's more like a fear tactic more than F around and find out, in my opinion.
All right, Cookie?
I would have to agree. I'm kind of in the middle of both of you. I do agree. I don't gentle parent. My kids are bigger than me, so they do have a lot of those moments. I've had a child walk out and say, I'm leaving. I have opened the door. Now, they wasn't that small. Right. They were about 10. It was my oldest son, who was now about to go to college. But I let him walk around the neighborhood, and it was raining, and then he was like, I don't have a phone. Oh, you don't? Welcome back.
But there's certain lessons in life that we as parents can't teach a child.
Right.
I mean, most children have a coffee table scar on their head.
Right.
Most kids are going to touch the stove one time. There's certain things that they have to learn on their own, and for them to suffer the consequence of their actions teaches them a lesson that your words probably will never.
Well, I think it's because we also have that old school approach, which doesn't work with new age kids. So you have to find that balance. You do have to. I do punish. I don't spare the rod. Their dad is more the disciplinarian in the physical aspect. But what we do is explain this is why. Because if they don't know, you can't fault them for what they don't know.
And I think we need to bring back fear. I think we need, and then the reason I say a lot of people would say, well, you don't want to control your kids with fear. Kids don't understand respect. I didn't understand respect until I was 21 years old. True respect, on a philosophical level. But children understand fear. That belt is fear.
But do you want your child to feel you, or you want your child to respect you?
they're not going. They don't understand respect.
I
the
think
concept
it's,
of
again,
respect
it's all about the age of the child and the understanding of a child. We know our children, and I know which one of my children respects me, and I know which one of my kids fears me.
Absolutely.
I was that child where you didn't have to tell me but one time not to do something, but my sister on the other hand, I mean, talk about hard knock life. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got a story to tell.
Out of time, guys. Thank you for joining us here. Great conversation.